The fourth part of this review is dealing with circles in the coordinate plane and then some polygons. So give the center and the radius of each. So this is your H, your K, and your R, but it's squared. So my center will be 5, -3, and the radius is the square root of 16, which is 4. So remember that in the formula, it is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So that's where when I switch the sign there. So here my center is 1, 0, because there's nothing with this, so I know it's 0. And my radius is square root 121, which is 11. Write an equation with the circle with center 0, 2, and it passes through that point. Well, I know what my center is, so I can start out as x plus 0, or just x squared, plus y minus 2 squared equals, now I've got to find my radius, so I need to know the distance from my center to a point on the circle. So I'm just going to use the distance formula for that. So the distance between my x's is 5, so 5 squared, plus the distance in these is 4, so 4 squared, take the square root of that. So I have 25 plus 16. So that gives me the square root of 41. So when I put this into the formula, remember that I'm squaring it, so it becomes 41. Write the equation of a circle that has a diameter with endpoints 5, -2, and -1, 0. So to give you just a little picture, we've got 5, -2, so that's one endpoint, and -1, 0. So I know I have a diameter going across here with my circle. So I don't have a center and I don't have a radius. And those are the two pieces of information that I need in order to write my equation of my circle. So to get my center, I'm going to use the midpoint formula between those two endpoints. And so that is the sum of my x's divided by 2, the sum of my y's divided by 2. So that's going to be 5 plus -1 and -2 plus 0. So my midpoint is, that's 4, so it's going to be 2 and -1. And that makes sense. My midpoint's about right there. So my center is 2, -1. So to find my radius, I need the distance, just like I did in the last problem, from my center to one of the points on the circle. I'm just going to use the first one. So the distance between those two is 3. 3 squared is 9, plus the distance in those is 1. 1 squared is 1. So it's the square root of that, which is just the square root of 10. So I know that my radius is square root 10. When I write this in the equation form of a circle, I'm going to have x minus 2 squared, because that's my k coordinate, my h coordinate, and then y plus 1 squared equals my radius squared. And my radius squared here, I could just as easily write it as just 10. So x minus 2 squared plus y plus 1 squared equals 10. So this is the final answer. Write an equation of the locus of points in the coordinate plane that are 7 units from that point. So that just means I have a circle. 7 will be my radius, and since all the points are from that, this is the center, so x minus 3 squared plus y plus 1 squared equals 7 squared, which is 49. Write the standard equation of this circle. I have my center as -4, 0. So I have x plus 4 squared plus y plus 0 squared is just y, so y squared equals my radius. These are all they're all just represent one unit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 squared is 25. Right, on to polygons. So we know that if a point is, from a point you draw these tangents that's equidistant. So I know this is 2, 15, this is 3, this has to be 16. So once you go through and add all those up, you get 72. Right, this one's a little more difficult because you don't have all that information. If this distance is 12, I know this one is also. So since the whole distance was 26, that makes this 13. So this one's 13, that one's 10, so this one's 10, that's 5, so this is 5. And you add up all of those and you get 82. Okay, the last section will be on proofs.